Hello friends, welcome back to Digitalk. In this session, we are going to cover two more core component of the AWS networking, which is the VPC, also called the Virtual Private Cloud, and IG, which is called the Internet Gateway, or sometimes also referred as IGW. Okay, so so now if you have some knowledge of cloud, okay, and then you have some experience on cloud, then you are aware about that one. But if you have do not have any experience on cloud, okay, then let me tell you that the networking has a very great importance in the cloud. Okay, so that means if you are going to work in the cloud, okay, or you're planning to learn the cloud, okay, then you should have some basic understandings of the network. Okay, this is one of the prerequisites, specifically in the cloud. Okay, you can go to work in any of the cloud, Google Cloud, AWS, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud. Okay, you should have some good basic understanding of the networking. Okay, now when we talk about the AWS, okay, so the two core basic concepts of the AWS is VPC and then internet gateway. So we have a different kind of a gateways are available in the AWS. Okay, we'll cover all the gateways one by one in the subsequent sessions. Okay, but the very first thing when we work in the AWS, okay, cloud, okay, we have to configure the VPC. This is the very first thing that we have to do. Okay, that means once your AWS account is ready, okay, then the very first thing that you have to do, you have to configure the VPC. Okay, now depend on your account. Okay, maybe if you have created your account just for learning purpose and you are going to create certain resources like virtual machine, okay, then multiple networking related things are taken care by the AWS. Okay, including the VPC. You don't need to worry about the networking component. But if you are in a professional environment, okay, then we do not go with the default configurations. We have to do every configurations by our own. That means every networking configuration we have to do, including the VPC. Okay, we create our own VPC instead of the default VPC that is created when you create the virtual machine just for the learning purpose. Okay. Now, apart from that, as I said, there are multiple some other the networking components are there in AWS along with the internet gateway. Okay, so we'll cover that every gateway and every other networking concepts one by one. So this is the session one. Okay, where we are going to cover the VPC and the internet gateway. Okay, so let me before I explain what is VPC, we go with the traditional data center. Okay, traditional data center. Okay, so why I'm saying it's a traditional? This is a data center which is owned by you or your organization. Okay, that means it could be a physical building in some region. Okay, and where you are the owner of the building, or maybe you have taken the building on the rent, right? But you are the owner. You have to take care of the complete civil work of the building, the complete physical security of the building. Along with that, there you will have an infrastructure. You will have your resources. Who is managing your resources like hardwares and softwares, right? So that means this is your own data center. Okay, that's I'm referring to the traditional data center, right? So here every responsibility is lying on you. You have to manage everything, right? Okay, the one of the major benefit of this kind of a traditional data center is security, right? Because this data center is completely isolated. You have a separate building, right? And all the hardware and software resources that you have configured inside your data center is completely belong to your organization. Okay, so you will have a good security over there, or you can say you have a good confidence on the security because it is a completely isolated building which has all the networking and software and hardware components belong to your organization. You are the owner of that and you are managing that one, right? So now let us come to the cloud. So for example, this is AWS cloud, or you can say this is AWS cloud data center. This is one of the data center of AWS cloud. Okay, it could be in any location. Okay, so across the world you have the multiple data centers of AWS located in the different geographies, regions, and the availability zones, right? So you can consider this is one of the data center. Okay, let us consider this is in India. Okay, and inside the India region, or you can say inside the India region, you have a data center in the Mumbai, right? So this is the data center of Mumbai. Now, because this is a cloud data center, right? So that means there could be multiple clients in the same data center, or you can say there could be multiple clients has taken the services from the AWS. Okay, and for every client the services are inside the same data center. I'm taking the example of Mumbai in India. right? So now here, if we compare it with a traditional data center where the complete building belongs to you and you are the owner of everything, civil work, physical security, infrastructure, software, resources. Now you are in the cloud. Okay, that means in a single data center there are multiple clients: client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, client 5. There could be multiple number of clients in a single data center, right? Now, if a single data center has multiple clients, then how security is going to be managed, right? Because every client want their resources to be completely isolated from the other organizations or the other clients, or you can say the resources of the other client, right? Nobody is going to uh, accept for sharing any kind of a data with the other clients or any of the third party stakeholders, right? Every client need the end to end isolation from the other customers, right? So it is similar to your own traditional data center infrastructure. You need a completely isolated environment where you should get the confidence that everything belong to me and my applications, software, hardware, everything is secure, right? So to give this isolated environment to each and every customers in the data center, we have the VPC, which is called the virtual private cloud. Okay, so this virtual private cloud is act as a completely isolated, separate, dedicated environment for each and every client. Okay, and they are completely isolated. That means for each and every client, we will have a VPC. For example, for client 1, I have VPC 1. For client 2, I created VPC 2. Similarly, other clients has created their own VPC. Okay, so these are the completely isolated environment for each and every customers. Okay, there is no interactions or there is no communication between the all the VPs unless and until you are going to allow. It also possible that you are using multiple services for the different clients and they want to interact with each other. So for that we have an option called VPC peering. But that means something different because that is intentionally you are going to allow. Otherwise, the complete VPC virtual private cloud is completely isolated environment for each and every client. So this VPC act as your own on-premise traditional data center where all the resources are completely belong to you and isolated from the outer world. So this is the concept of the VPC. Simple, right? Now, apart from VPC, the second component that we are going to discuss in this session is internet gateway. Now, what is internet gateway? Okay, so let me explain you. So we are covering only two topics here: VPC, which we have covered, right? Second, now suppose that this is your VPC. You have configured your VPC in the AWS, and this is the internet. Okay, and let me redraw it in some better way. Okay, to give you some more clarity on this one. Okay, so this is my VPC in the AWS. Okay, I have created one VPC with the name of VPC A. Right now, this is the internet, and from here the user want to access the application which is inside my VPC, right? So this is completely AWS. You can consider this as AWS. There could be other VPCs for the other client, right? And this is my VPC. And now my client is want to access the application which is inside my VPC in the AWS, right? So for any kind of a traffic from the internet, or also you can say from the public network, okay, all the traffic in and out inside your VPC, it is happened with the help of internet gateway. Okay, that means if your applications want to interact with the outer world, or maybe the clients accessing your application from the outer world. Okay, so you should have an internet gateway in place. This is the single point of contact for any kind of interaction for the outer world. So that means when we create the VPC and if we want our application to be accessed from the internet, then definitely we need the internet gateway, and this is specifically for the internet, which is a public network, right? So this is the second critical component that you need to configure in your environment to allow the internet traffic inside, in and out from your particular VPC. Now, apart from internet gateway, as I said, we have other some multiple kind of a gateways, like we have a NAT gateway, we have a virtual private gateway, we have a transit gateway. Okay, and along with that, we have multiple other networking components there in the VPC. We have a subnet. Okay, and along with that, we have some security groups, network ACLs, routing, right? So these are the certain core component, okay, that you should be clear about when you are working on the AWS cloud. Okay, so now we have covered two topics here. The one is the VPC, which is your own isolated, dedicated private cloud, okay, for the isolation of the different customers from each other. And second is the internet gateway. So that means if you have deployed some application which need the connectivity from the internet, then you should configure one internet gateway. Now, what are the other components and the dependencies, how they're connected with each other, that we are completely going to cover in the further subsequent sessions. Thank you.